Number 14 says, find f if f double prime of x is equal to 10x squared minus 11x plus 15. It says f of 0 is negative 100 and f prime of 0 is 12. So I want to find regular f, but I have the second derivative, which means I have to find the antiderivative 2 times. And in this question, I'm going to be using 2 of the antiderivative properties. I'm going to be using the power rule of antiderivatives. Let's write that down. Power rule of antiderivatives. And that states, if we're taking the antiderivative or the integral, which means antiderivative, of x to the power of n, the antiderivative is in respect to x, such that n cannot be equal to negative 1. Then the answer is going to be x to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, and then we're going to plus our general constant of c. And rule number 2 says the antiderivative of a constant k with respect to x is going to equal to the constant times the variable to the first power. And don't forget, we're plus c. So now let's find our first derivative by taking the antiderivative of the second derivative. So f double prime of x is once again 10x squared minus 11x plus 15. Let's go ahead and do that. So define f prime of x. We're going to do the following. We're going to add 1 to the exponent here. And then we're going to divide that by 2 plus 1. Let's make some more room down here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's go over here. So when we do that, that's going to be 10x to the third power over 3. Let's put a 1 right here. And we're going to add 1 to the exponent. And we're going to divide that by 1 plus 1. That is going to be minus 11x squared over 2. I should put that in blue. Plus the antiderivative of a constant, 15. That's just going to be 15 multiplied with x to the first power. And let's not forget plus c. And if you notice, we can't simplify any of these fractions. So we can leave it as follows. Now, let's go back up to the top. It says f prime of 0 is equal to 12. So that means when I plug 0 into my first derivative, that should be equal to 12. Let's go ahead and do that. F prime of 12. Let's write it closer up here. F prime of 0 is equal to 12. So wherever I see a 0 at, wherever I see an x at, I should plug in 0. So 10 times 0 cubed over 3 minus 11 times 0 squared over 2 plus 15 times 0 plus c is equal to 12. 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. These all cancel out. And as you can see, c is equal to 12. So to rewrite my first derivative, f prime of x is going to equal to 10 over 3 x cubed minus 11 over 2 x squared plus 15x plus 12. My handwriting always is slanted, even in class. Then again, I write on a slant, so. All right. To find our original function, we must take the antiderivative of the first derivative, using the power rule of antiderivatives again. So, to find f of x, we're going to add 1 to the exponent and divide that by 3 plus 1. Add 1 to the exponent, divide that by 2 plus 1. There's a 1 already here. Add 1 to the exponent, divide that by 1 plus 1. This is a constant. Multiply the constant with a variable to the first power. So, that's going to equal to 10 over 3. And that's going to be times x to the 4th over 4. Minus 11 over 2. Times x to the 3rd over 3. Plus 15. X squared over 2. Plus 12x. And now we must plus d. And just to simplify that up, that's going to be 10 over 4, have a common factor of 2. Let's divide 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So here we're going to have 5 over 3 times 2. That's 6. X to the 4th. Minus, that's going to be here 11 over 6. X to the 3rd. Plus 15 over 2. X squared. Plus 12x. Plus d. Remember, scrolling back up to the top, f of 0 is 100. Well, f of 0 is negative 100. So let's plug 0 into our original function and set that equal to 100. Well, sorry, negative 100. 5 over 6 times 0 to the 4th minus 11 over 6 times 0 cubed plus 15 over 2 times 0 squared plus 12 times 0 plus d is equal to negative 100. Gone, 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 and gone. D equals to negative 100. So that means our final answer, f of x, is equal to 5 over 6 x to the 4th minus 11 over 6 x cubed plus 15 over 2 x squared plus 12x minus 100. All right, guys. Hopefully you liked the video. It made sense to you. Understand the concepts. And I'll catch you around in the next one. Take care.